Without wasting time, let's jump right in. Here are 10 horror movies on Netflix you should not watch alone. Please note that the availability of these titles may vary based on your region and Netflix's current catalog. For the most accurate and up-to-date information, consider checking Netflix's official platform. At number 10, we have The Autopsy of Jane Doe. What starts as a routine autopsy quickly spirals into a chilling and mind-bending nightmare in The Autopsy of Jane Doe. When father and son coroners take on the task of examining a mysterious unidentified body found at a gruesome crime scene, they expect nothing more than an ordinary night's work. But as they peel back the layers, both literally and figuratively, they uncover increasingly sinister secrets buried within the corpse. Brian Cox and Emile Hirsch deliver powerhouse performances, grounding the supernatural terror in raw, human emotion. The chemistry between the two adds a layer of warmth and relatability to an otherwise cold and clinical environment, making the horror hit closer to home. The Autopsy of Jane Doe is more than just a horror film. It's a meticulously crafted journey into the unknown. The twists are relentless, and the sense of foreboding lingers long after the credits roll. With its chilling atmosphere, brilliant direction, and unpredictable narrative, this movie is a must-watch, but not for the faint of heart. You can stream The Autopsy of Jane Doe on Netflix now, but trust me, you'll want someone sitting beside you when the lights go out. At number 9, we have Train to Busan. Train to Busan isn't just a zombie movie, it's a heart-pounding, emotional roller coaster that redefines the genre. Set on a high-speed train from Seoul to Busan, this South Korean masterpiece delivers relentless thrills, intense action, and moments of profound humanity. Director Yoon Sang-ho elevates the zombie genre with innovative set pieces that make full use of the train's claustrophobic interiors. The close-quarters combat, paired with the sheer desperation of the survivors, creates a tension so palpable you'll be on the edge of your seat. But what truly makes Train to Busan unforgettable is its exploration of sacrifice, love, and the lengths we'll go to protect those we care about. Packed with jaw-dropping action, tear-jerking moments, and a powerful social commentary on humanity's resilience and flaws, Train to Busan is a movie that transcends language and cultural barriers. It's no wonder it's considered one of the greatest zombie films of all time. Stream Train to Busan on Netflix now, but prepare yourself for a ride you'll never forget. And fair warning, you'll need tissues for this one. At number 8, we have The Witch. The Witch isn't just a horror movie, it's an atmospheric descent into paranoia, isolation, and the dark corners of human nature. Set in the desolate wilderness of 1630s New England, this bone-chilling film masterfully blends historical authenticity with supernatural dread to create a unique and deeply unsettling experience. Director Robert Eggers doesn't rely on jump scares. Instead, he weaves a tapestry of slow-burning dread. The meticulous attention to detail, from the archaic dialogue to the bleak and barren landscapes, immerses you in a world where every creak, shadow, and whispered prayer feels like a harbinger of doom. The film's chilling score, an unsettling mix of shrill strings and eerie chants, further amplifies the unease, making even the quietest moments nerve-wracking. The Witch is a masterclass in atmospheric horror, a film that lingers in your mind long after the credits roll. If you're in the mood for a horror movie that chills you to the core and makes you think, this one is unmissable. Stream The Witch on Netflix now, but don't expect to sleep soundly afterward. At number 7, we have It Follows. It Follows is a horror movie like no other. A chilling, dread-soaked masterpiece that sticks with you long after the screen fades to black. With its unique premise and unnerving atmosphere, it has earned its place as one of the most inventive horror films of the 21st century. Director David Robert Mitchell crafts an unsettling world that feels out of time. The suburban Detroit setting, with its eerie, quiet streets and dreamlike quality, amplifies the sense of isolation and helplessness. The film's haunting synth-heavy score by Disaster Piece is a character in itself, escalating the unease with every beat. Anchored by a compelling performance from Marika Monroe as Jay, It Follows offers a protagonist you can't help but root for. Her fight for survival is both physical and emotional, making her journey all the more gripping. If you're tired of the same old horror cliches and crave something original and thought-provoking, It Follows is an absolute must-watch. It's a film that proves sometimes the scariest thing isn't what runs after you. It's what slowly, inevitably, follows. Stream It Follows on Netflix now, but prepare to be looking over your shoulder for days. At number 6, we have The Babadook. The Babadook isn't just a horror movie, it's a deeply emotional and harrowing exploration of grief, motherhood, and the monsters we create within ourselves. With its masterful storytelling and chilling atmosphere, this Australian gem has earned its reputation as one of the most intelligent and terrifying films of the decade. Jennifer Kent, the film's writer and director, creates an atmosphere so oppressive and claustrophobic that you can almost feel the weight of Amelia's grief and exhaustion. Amelia is the protagonist. The Babadook itself, with its pale, clawed hands and scary top hat, is a masterclass in psychological horror. It's not just a monster, it's a manifestation of pain and trauma, feeding off the cracks in Amelia's fragile world. The film is beautifully shot, with Kent using shadow, light, and sound to create a visual language that's as haunting as the story itself. The house, with its dark, suffocating corners and creaking floors, becomes a character in its own right, a prison that mirrors Amelia's mental state. If you're looking for a horror movie that delivers both scares and substance, The Babadook is a must-watch. It's terrifying, heart-wrenching, and thought-provoking in equal measure, proving that the most haunting stories are often the most human. Stream The Babadook on Netflix now, but be warned, once you let it in, you won't be able to get rid of it. At number 5, we have Gerald's Game. Gerald's Game is a psychological horror that proves sometimes the most terrifying battles are fought within our own minds. Based on Stephen King's novel, this Netflix original takes an intimate yet chilling approach to horror, blending raw emotion with gut-wrenching tension to create an unforgettable experience. Director Mike Flanagan crafts a taut, claustrophobic atmosphere, using the limited setting of the bedroom to amplify the tension. Every creak of the cabin, every shadow on the wall, becomes a potential threat. The film masterfully weaves flashbacks, hallucinations, and inner dialogues to explore themes of trauma, repression, and the strength it takes to reclaim one's power. Flanagan's direction ensures that Gerald's Game is more than just a survival story. It's a deeply unsettling and thought-provoking exploration of human resilience and the scars we carry. If you're looking for a horror film that's as cerebral as it is nerve-wracking, Gerald's Game is an absolute must-watch. With its intense performances, gripping narrative, and haunting visuals, this movie will have you questioning how far you'd go to survive, and what ghosts you'd have to confront along the way. Stream Gerald's Game on Netflix now, but fair warning, it'll leave you checking your surroundings and your past in equal measure. At number 4, we have The Haunting of Hill House. The Haunting of Hill House isn't just a horror story, it's an emotional, deeply layered exploration of family, grief, and the ghosts that linger both in our minds and in our homes. Based on Shirley Jackson's classic novel, this Netflix original series reimagines the haunted house genre with a perfect balance of psychological depth and spine-tingling scares. The show doesn't rely on cheap jump scares. Instead, it masterfully builds dread with subtle, lingering terror. The ghostly figures that populate Hill House often hide in plain sight, creating an unsettling game of spot the spectre for viewers. Every shadow, reflection, and corridor feels alive with the house's malevolent presence. The heart of The Haunting of Hill House lies in its exploration of grief and how it manifests differently for everyone. The house becomes a metaphor for the inescapable weight of loss, with its twisting corridors and haunting whispers mirroring the labyrinth of unresolved emotions. The show's bittersweet ending ties everything together, leaving you both moved and haunted. If you're looking for a horror series that's as emotionally resonant as it is terrifying, The Haunting of Hill House is a must-watch. Its mix of heart-pounding scares and deeply human storytelling makes it an experience you'll never forget. Stream The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix now, but don't watch it alone, and definitely leave the lights on. At number 3, we have Hereditary. Hereditary is not just a horror film. It's a relentless, nightmarish experience that crawls under your skin and refuses to leave. Directed by Ari Aster in his breathtaking debut, this psychological masterpiece blends bone-chilling supernatural elements with the devastating weight of familial grief and dysfunction. The result? A film that redefines what modern horror can achieve. The unforgettable imagery and disturbing twists are complemented by Colin Stetson's unnerving score, which pulses like a heartbeat, amplifying the film's suffocating atmosphere. Hereditary isn't a film you watch, it's a film you endure. Its haunting exploration of loss and legacy leaves a lingering unease that's hard to shake. This is a movie for those who crave intelligent, deeply unsettling horror that dares to push boundaries. Stream Hereditary on Netflix now, but be warned, this is not for the faint of heart. You'll want to watch it with the lights on, but even then, its dark tendrils will follow you long after the credits roll. At number 2, we have The Conjuring. The Conjuring isn't just a horror movie, it's a chilling phenomenon that reignited modern audiences' love for supernatural scares. Directed by James Wan, this 2013 masterpiece delivers spine-tingling terror through a gripping blend of haunted house tropes, nail-biting tension, and unsettlingly real stakes. Based on the true case files of paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, The Conjuring combines historical intrigue with unrelenting scares to create a film that lingers long after the screen fades to black. James Wan proves once again why he's a master of the genre. The Conjuring isn't reliant on cheap jump scares. Instead, it builds dread through masterful pacing and meticulous attention to detail. Long, tense tracking shots, expertly timed silences, and subtle, creeping movements in the background keep you on edge throughout. One also taps into primal fears with unnerving sequences like the clap game, which has become iconic in horror history. The film's 1970s setting, combined with its hauntingly atmospheric cinematography and Joseph Bischer's eerie score, makes every frame feel steeped in terror. If you're looking for a horror film that perfectly balances scares with story, The Conjuring is a must-watch. It's a terrifying, emotionally resonant experience that reminds us why we love being scared in the first place. Stream The Conjuring on Netflix now, but maybe keep the lights on and someone close by. This is one haunting you won't soon forget. At number 1, we have Sinister. Sinister is one of those horror films that stays with you long after you've seen it. Directed by Scott Derrickson, this 2012 psychological horror film introduces a haunting concept that taps into the primal fear of the unknown, giving the genre a fresh and bone-chilling twist. Derrickson masterfully crafts Sinister as a slow-burn horror that escalates into an overwhelming crescendo of dread. Watching these tapes through a listen's eyes feels voyeuristic and wrong, but you can't look away, a testament to Derrickson's ability to grip his audience. Sinister is not just about supernatural scares. It's a deeply psychological film that explores themes of ambition, guilt, and the cost of his choices. If you're a fan of horror that sticks with you, Sinister is a must-watch. Its unsettling imagery, gripping story, and unforgettable villain combine to create a now, but don't watch it alone. And if you hear something creak in the attic afterward, maybe just leave it be. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. Which of these movies kept you awake or made you sleep with the lights on? Don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. See you next time.